Hello everyone, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read for this morning. I'll just pull the other deck out and use the Hanson Roberts deck for your... Might need to change your decks actually, I'm starting to get to that little point there where I feel like using something different, something new. I have so many decks and sometimes I get a little bit attached to these little small decks because they're so easy to use, but I do need to pull out some new ones and change it up a little bit. So I, really enjoy doing it. I still have that Nicola Cicchetti deck here. And I've got it all over the place. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. But I still have trouble understanding the major arcana cards. So I really need to spend some time getting to know them a little bit better before I make a decision. But I just think that they are so beautiful, those ones. But yeah, the major arcanas are a little bit challenging. But anyway, Hanson Roberts deck's always good. And I have the Thoth Tarot there too, so maybe we can start using it this week. I'm not a big fan, but we'll see. Okay, so I have the Eight of Wands coming up first here for your bonus read. Now, the Eight of Wands talks about things moving very quickly, very swiftly. This is about internet communication often, but it also is about the arrows of love, because remember, these are all passion and they're moving very, very quickly towards you. I feel like you've got a bit sick of waiting for this by the look of this card here. It's like, oh, for goodness sakes, it's already taken so long, and look how long it's taking to grow. Whoa. Yeah, hanging on to stuff too. Now, I always think with this card, like you're blocking your crown chakra, you're blocking your heart, you're not grounded because your feet aren't on the ground. So the meditation thing and the what's cracking thing is a big thing for some of you, about letting go and not being impatient, because it is coming in. It's just taking time, and time is something we have plenty of, even though they say we don't, we do. So patience is the problem. Okay, so I have the King of Swords coming out. He also came out in the What's Cracking read. He's got his sword ready to speak a truth. He is absolutely 100% ready to tell you what's going on here. Look at him. Very, very ready to go. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and ready to speak a truth. Okay, Five of Swords coming out here. Now, the Five of Swords can talk about many things, but it often talks about, winning at the cost of something else. So, finally coming out victorious, but have lost, many other things in order to be victorious. Some people see it as a card of selfishness because he has all the swords and nobody else has. He is pointing that sword straight towards, we have lots of swords energy here because we also have the Nine of Swords, which talks about sleepless nights, but it also talks about overthinking, processing, over-processing, all swords. And there's another sword, the Ten of Swords. So what I want to say to you here is, when I look at this, is it's sort of like the truth will set you free here. And that's what's been going on here, because some truth here allows you to let go of this negative thinking here. But it's a truth about some situation that perhaps you won in, but you didn't really think that you'd won. I was saying that's a really funny situation, isn't it? It's like walking away from something that doesn't serve you because you know it doesn't serve you, and you know that you have to do that, which gives you a win, but it doesn't necessarily create any joy for you here. Okay, Six of Pentacles coming out here. So this is something to do with even give and take, balance. Somebody not putting in there. You've walked away from a relationship here where somebody wasn't putting in their part of the bargain, their part of the journey here. And you've walked away from someone because they didn't tell you the truth. They weren't open with you. They didn't tell you how they were feeling, folks. And look at this. It was a soulmate relationship. Rightio, now I've got this one going on. Page of Swords here. So someone's definitely ready to speak the truth here. Some of you walked away from a relationship because either you didn't think the person felt the same about you, or they weren't expressing themselves. It's so simple. And now they're back to share the truth with you. They're back to tell you why they walked away and why they weren't truthful with you. This is a soulmate. So you may have fallen in love with this person and they didn't express themselves back again. So you thought, well, I'm wasting my time here. I'm putting all these feelings in and this other person doesn't feel the same, so I'm going off in my own direction. But somebody's coming in here now to tell you the truth. They may have had lots of options at the time. They may not have wanted to settle down. They wanted to remain free. They wanted to be their own person, but not anymore. Oh, this is really nice. 10 of Wands. So you're putting down the burden now. This is ends of cycles everywhere here and ready to move into a new time. Yep, and work on something. Okay, so this is coming in very quickly too. You feel like it's waited a long time. You may have hung on to this without letting it go, and that's probably made the time even longer. People have trouble grasping that concept, but when you're hanging on to the energy, people can't move away. And it's really funny because when I talk to people and I say to them and they say they've let go of the energy, of course the person comes straight back and they're like, what do I do now? Well, you know, now you have to work through it. The person will feel you pull away the energy without any doubt whatsoever. This situation here is one where you've either been in love with someone or you've been very into someone. And you've walked away from it. I don't know whether they've just not shown you something back or whether they haven't been honest and they've been in love with you but they have never shared their feelings. Maybe at the time they wanted to be single, have a bit of a great time, but they've put down their burdens now. You've put down your burdens and they're ready to come back. This, what they're bringing back though to tell you, is probably going to crack your world open a little bit, because it feels to me like they're actually in love with you here and they're going to let you know that they are. They've realised you're their soulmate and they're coming back to give you an offer that perhaps you weren't expecting, or you know, you've gone past waiting for. Maybe you hung on to it for a long time and then now you've let it go and now's the time it comes back. So this is about equal give and take. It's about someone feeling the same way as you but never expressing themselves. It's about you walking away from something because it wasn't coming, because you didn't think it was going anywhere. Look, they could have walked away from you too. You could have both walked away from each other. I don't think they realised that they were either in love with you or they knew they were, but they were too scared perhaps to stay. Perhaps they didn't know you felt the same way about them. What I can tell you is there's a lot of swords here. So I would say the whole situation was based in a lack of communication. So obviously you both felt the same way about each other, but you didn't express it. So, you know, I think you should express yourself even at the risk of losing the other person, because at least then they can tell you, well, you know what, I don't feel the same, and you can let them go. But a lot of the time this is people not speaking up, people ghosting people, not being prepared to be outspoken and say anything. How interesting. You have the card of Fertility here, which is Pan. That just jumped out at me. So it might just be because the time is right, may I add. This card signifies you that it's a very fertile time for you. Ideal time for conception of babies or new projects. All of the doors are open for you right now. Your mind is fertile with many wonderful new ideas, and abundance easily flows to you. Since everything is in its infancy stage, have patience with the growth process. Just nurture yourself and your projects so you stay strong and fertile. So this is the time. You have the Midas touch and everything is turning to gold right now. There is good news about pregnancies and or adoptions. Let go of worries or guilt and enjoy yourself. Now's the time to start projects. So this is the right time for you, people. It just wasn't the right time before. Maybe you both had some growing to do, but it's definitely right to go ahead now. Have a great day.